As part of that announcement as well, the administration put a substantial commitment on the table to drive $2 billion more of energy retrofit activity through our ability at the federal level to use energy performance contracting. I know we've got some ESCOs and ESCO groups in the room. Presumably this has come up already, but the ESCO industry has already been gaining market share, and with the federal government now fully utilizing the tools at our disposal, essentially requiring every federal agency to maximize every opportunity to use energy performance contracts to retrofit federal buildings, we think will drive another $2 billion of activity in this sector. So we're very excited about that. I'd be glad to take questions on sort of what's going to happen going forward and how Emerald Cities can get involved. I don't want to leave the retrofit story, though, without also talking about the residential side of the equation. For a lot of us, that's sort of where we began. I know it remains a core area of interest for Emerald Cities. Today, just a few hours ago, Secretary Chu announced that the Department of Energy has weatherized 600,000 homes under the funding provided through the Stimulus Act. That's 600,000 homes 3 months earlier than we said we were going to get to that number. So we feel very good not just about the result, but about the timeliness of getting dollars and activity into the economy. We all know the benefits of weatherization. We estimate that these 600,000 homes in total will save their occupants something like $320 million in lower energy bills in the first full year of being weatherized. So much more to do on the home energy weatherization front, but a good day to celebrate a little good news, and I wanted to make sure that you all are aware of it. I know Emerald Cities has done a lot of good work to help our weatherization efforts incorporate health and other considerations, and we can come back to that subject as well in the discussion. Because Denise and Lois were also interested in hearing what the Department of Energy and our other federal colleagues are doing beyond the building retrofit area, at the nexus of energy opportunity and community development. I wanted to just flag a couple of things that the Department of Energy has done recently, because they are seeds of what we hope will blossom more in the future. One is in the area of scaling up rooftop solar installations around the country. Many of you may know Secretary Chu is passionate about solar electricity. He has announced a sunshot initiative, like the moonshot of President Kennedy, where he wants the country to get to $1 a watt solar power, meaning effectively that solar electricity will be cost competitive with any other type of electricity without any subsidies in the next few years. A big part of that obviously has to do with making the cost of panels and manufacturing the panels less expensive. Lots of people at DOE working on that front. But it turns out a significant cost for the solar panel that you may put on your home or your business or your campus facility actually has to do with local regulations and costs that are imposed at the local level around interconnection and inspection and permitting. We think those costs in almost any community can be lower. We think people should be able to get permitted faster. We think financing should be able to come in much more quickly. And so we recently awarded 20-some grants to regional collaborations around the country that are showcasing ways to drive down the local regulatory costs of installing rooftop solar PV. We think that'll be a model to get some pretty exciting things out there that we can build on. Similarly, we announced a program at the end of last summer to do quite the same thing with respect to electric vehicles. You all probably know President Obama has said he wants this country to be the first in the world to put 1 million electric vehicles on the street. A big part of it, again, is on the technology side. We need to make the batteries smaller and more efficient. We've got to look at the automobile itself. But again, if we don't have the local permitting infrastructure, the local EV charging stations set up in strategic locations so that people will have confidence actually driving around in their electric vehicle, these will never achieve significant market penetration. So we have a program that we announced last summer, as I mentioned, that awarded funding to 16, again, regional partnerships that are showcasing ways to drive down the cost of deploying electric vehicle infrastructure, training the inspectors, setting the local market conditions for real markets, real consumer demand to flourish in this area. So both with respect to solar, electricity, and electric vehicles, trying to create market conditions, work with local communities to reduce barriers. I mentioned both those programs, not to just sort of look retrospectively at them, although I think in many cases they are occurring in places where Emerald Cities is active, but because in the budget that the President has requested for the fiscal year 2012 that we're now well into, that in the case of my agency, the Department of Energy, we still don't have yet. We're waiting for Congress to do its job. We've requested more funding for this kind of thing. For home energy weatherization, of course. For commercial retrofits, absolutely. That was the Better Buildings Challenge.